Hello again YouTube brethren, Mike Check Gamer here, and I hope you're doing well at whatever point in time you happen to be tuning in here. So the summer update for Hogwarts Legacy has been out for just about over a week now, and I've been tinkering around at the photo mode during that time, and I've stumbled across a few quirky little things that I thought could be worth sharing with all of you guys. So here are 5 tips and little quirks that I've stumbled across in the Hogwarts Legacy Photo Mode that hopefully you might find cool enough to try out. So the first tip here is the least exciting out of all the tips, so I thought I'd get it out of the way first. It is changing the season and time of day first. I've found that when I mucked around with the exposure, contrast and saturation first and then went to that, I was missing out on some really cool moments because I was sort of mucking around with the environment and then changing that after the fact, which sort of led to some weird lighting problems. So I found that by changing the time of day and season first, you give yourself a good basis, and then from there you can sort of tinker around with it, adjust the exposure, saturation and contrast from there, which I found was a lot better management. So that's the first tip right there, really straightforward. I'm sure most people probably clued into that really early, but that's the first one for you. So number 2 here is probably one of my personal favorites. It's using a sliding exposure with the canvas filter. So I'm going to demonstrate with this visual here, me on my broom looking at the sky, and if you turn the UI off, put it in canvas mode and slide the exposure all the way up and all the way down fluently, you get this really nice sort of pulsating effect. Especially here in the clouds, man, it looks so luscious and so good. I tried this with other filters, it didn't give me quite the same effect, so I recommend using this in canvas if you want to try it, and also as a little tidbit, turn the contrast up. That really makes it a lot more fluent with the exposure when you're sliding it up and down. It's really cool. It makes me want to get one of those digital photo frames and just have a little GIF display of that going off in the background. I think that'd be really nice. So number 3 here is a little bit of an unusual one. It's using the Hallows filter with the depth of field. And the reason it's a bit unusual is because I've only really been able to capture it twice. The first time being with this image you're seeing here. Unfortunately in the final result I didn't end up capturing it, so it just looks like your standard Hallows picture, unfortunately. I did capture it however with this one. As you can see, there's like a faint white outline around both my character and the spider here, and even you can sort of see it with the ancient magic sparks I've got going on over here. I tried my best to replicate this again. I did find that ancient magic is how it seems to appear. When you're focusing on the depth of field, it sort of lights it up and down in various ways, and then from there I think it's just about the setting in which you initially capture it in, as well as the camera angle. I think has something to do with it. Feel free to experiment with that one if you can. Let me know if you can figure out how to get that white outline around your characters, because I have only done it a handful of times and it eludes me how to do it, so I'd love to know if anyone can nail that one on the head for me. That brings us to number 4, which is probably my next best favorite next to number 2, which is using spells and broom trails as filters. This is super simple, super effective to utilize. I've got a few examples here. This first one is of me using a perfect Protego to capture a really nice black and whitish sort of filter around my character, which creates a silhouette in the middle there. Pretty much just turn the contrast up, exposure up and saturation down for that one. Then the second one here is of an Incendio I'm using with the Dusty filter to capture a nice sort of orange hue in the bottom of the frame there. And with regards to the broom filters, the best ones to use is the Lavender Borealis and Dark Lightning, both new with the update. And as you can see here, the Lavender Borealis is giving me a nice little pink bluish hue at the top of my frame here, and this next one is my personal favorite. It sort of reminds me of the Deathly Hallows animation from the Part 1 Deathly Hallows movie, but that's captured right in the middle of the broom trail there, and then obviously just mucked around with the settings to get the final result there. So yeah, that's a really fun one to play around with. And that brings us to number 5, our last little quirk, which is capturing in between moments using the time of day slider. The reason this one actually came about is while I was using the time of day slider during some moments, if I was quick enough in sliding through the times, I noticed there was some sort of lag in the game catching up to the lighting settings that needed to be up for that particular time of day, and I wasn't quite quick enough to ever capture any of them. So what I needed to do was record myself sliding through the time of day, and then from there capture that later on, usually in my computer. But like for this one, for example, you can see I captured a really nice silhouette while casting an Incendio spell. I did a similar thing here on the back of my Caligo mount, capturing this really nice sort of black and white silhouette, and I found it was only really possible if I recorded and then later on edited it. I wasn't normally quick enough to tap the option button and capture the screenshot in those sort of in-between transitionary moments. So I found this was quite cool if you want to really get nitpicky with your shadings and try and get a good hack to use the time of day to use it to your advantage, so to speak. So that's number 5. Alright, so that is it for my 5 tips and quirks for the Hogwarts Legacy Photo Mode. If you've made it to the end of this video here, thank you for watching all the way through. And if you managed to see something here that you hadn't managed to discover on your own, feel free to try it out. Hopefully there's something here that has inspired you to go back in and create some more magical images, so to speak. Please leave a like and subscribe down below if you do feel so inclined. If you haven't yet already seen, I do have another video of the first time I tried the Hogwarts Legacy photo mode, so check that one out after that if you haven't caught that already. But until next time, I will catch you on the flip side and take care of yourselves. Quick end note here, I'll also add a little reel of some of the photos I've managed to capture in between the first video I did on the photo mode and now, so y'all can see the fruits of my labour. Hope you enjoy, and yeah, we'll see you next time. One, two, mic check. One, two, mic check. One, two, mic check. One, two, mic check.